Hey guys, welcome back once again to another day here at Fit Life with Alicia. It is Monday morning, it is springtime, it is a beautiful day, and I am excited to bring another video to you guys today. To talk about today, and something that I am finding has been super important and really key to my success in my health and weight loss journey is a totally different approach to this journey than what I've taken in years past. And this approach is kind of opposite of what I've done in the past. And it is this. It is, instead of trying to beat my body and myself into submission with rigorous diet, rigorous exercise, being really stringent and restrictive in the hopes that I could lose some weight and maybe get skinny and change the way that I look, that approach never worked for me. And I tried that for many, many years, thinking that if I just stick with it long enough, I'll finally reach my goals. I'll finally lose the weight that I want to lose. I'll finally become the person that I want to become. And as I did that for many, many years, I think all that it did was sabotage my efforts. So several months ago, last year, I decided it was time to do something different. That was not working and it was making me miserable. So I changed things up completely and I went kind of a really opposite direction. And this direction felt really good, really authentic, and actually kind of sustainable. And this approach has actually helped me feel so good, maybe better than I've ever felt in my entire adult life. And I am in my early 40s, and I feel like I'm finally cracking the code to my health. And as I take this different approach, the weight loss is kind of just coming along for the ride, which is really exciting because before I felt like I had to work super hard. I felt like I was kind of pushing up against a brick wall to lose weight. And this new approach is totally different and it feels good, and the weight loss is kind of just a side effect of changing these things up. So I wanted to share with you what this different approach is and how it's helping me. So like I talked about in the past, being super restrictive, kind of trying to beat myself into submission and into weight loss did not work. So the opposite approach that I finally decided to take, and that is working, is treating myself with patience, kindness, and compassion. And instead of being hyper-focused on the weight loss and in needing to change my body, I am taking a whole self approach with kindness and compassion and doing things that help me feel good and that even help me feel great, and kind of putting aside the number on the scale. I don't get on the scale that much anymore. It just only set me up for feeling frustrated and angry when things weren't going my way. And I've started eating in a way and exercising in a way and treating myself in a way that helps me feel good. So for instance, take my diet and sugar specifically. I love sweets and treats, candies, desserts. They are things that I was used to having most every single day, and I really enjoyed them. However, as you can imagine, having too much of that was not good for my health. It made me feel tired and sluggish and brain foggy and just generally grumpy. Even though I enjoyed those things in the moment, a half an hour or an hour later, I would be feeling that sugar crash and be feeling so crappy that I knew I needed to do something different. But I really love eating those foods. So instead of trying to just cut sugar out completely, I didn't want to remove that thing that I really enjoy. It was just time to do something different. So instead of trying to overwhelm myself by taking away those treats that I love so much, I've just cut way, way back. And instead of saying, you can't have this anymore, you don't deserve this, you're too weak, you don't have enough willpower, this is bad for you. No, it's okay to have these things, just in moderation. A little here and there, once or twice a week, have a treat. Really indulge and enjoy that treat. And then in between those times when you have it, really focus on feeding your body healthy, nutritious, nutrient-dense foods, because those actually make you feel really good. They give you the energy that you want. They help you feel better. So let's kind of marry these two things together. You don't have to totally cut out those quote-unquote bad foods. Just cut way back on them. And that's what I've done. So when I do have them, I really enjoy them. And I don't always follow that plan perfectly. I'm a work in progress, but as I consistently try to work on that and treat myself with kindness when it comes to food and feed myself foods that help me feel good, and those sugary treats, I enjoy them in the moment, so they're not necessarily bad as long as I don't overindulge, right? And then when it comes to my fitness, I was trying to work out for an hour a day, every single day, at least 5 days a week. That was my goal. And that was too much for a long time. It just felt too heavy, too overwhelming. I didn't enjoy it. I was sore all the time. I was tired. It was really kind of zapping my energy to force myself to work out that much when I didn't enjoy it. And it really didn't make me feel good. I decided to cut back and only do 30 minutes a day. And that didn't feel so overwhelming. Like mentally, that helped me shift into a healthier way of taking care of my body so that I wasn't kind of like driving it into the ground with too much exercise. And as I focused on just moving my body in a way that I enjoyed for 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week, 6 days a week, that felt way more doable. And I started to learn to love exercise. And you know what? I found that I didn't need to exercise for an hour a day, several days a week. When I cut back by half of that time and I started changing my diet and kind of tweaking it so that I wasn't totally cutting out those things that I like, but just cutting way back and then adding in those foods that are good for me, that my body needs, and kind of finding a balance with all of this, I was feeling better than I'd ever felt before, and the weight was starting to come off. But I know that this was coming by settling down, being patient, treating myself in a way that helps me feel good, and things were starting to finally happen. For the first time in my adult life, I was finding better health, more energy. Mentally and emotionally, I was feeling better than I felt in a long time as well. I've spent years struggling with depression and anxiety and kind of just hiding away from life. And as I take better care of myself through more kindness, more compassion, more patience when I don't do things the way I want to, and when things aren't going the way I want, as I take better care of myself this way, I am feeling so much better. Also, we are not just bodies, right? For many, many years, as I had tried to kind of beat my body into submission, right? With all of that excessive diet and exercise and not taking good care of myself and not treating myself with kindness and compassion, I was hyper-focused on changing my body, but I wasn't at all working on my mental and emotional states. And doing that was taking its toll on me. And I think that's why I struggle so much with depression and with the anxiety and with just an overall sense of not feeling good enough and not feeling worthy enough. And so while I'm working on taking better care of my body this way, I'm also working on my mindset as well, because I know that my mind and the way that I think about myself and the beliefs that I have about myself, that was holding me back as well. And as I'm kinder to myself mentally, and I'm trying to quit beating myself up when I don't do things perfectly, and for not being at the weight that I want to be or looking the way that I want to be, as I work on, again, just taking a body, mind, and soul approach to this, things are changing in beautiful, beautiful ways. And I am feeling more peace within myself than I've ever felt. I am feeling more confident than I've ever felt in my life with myself. And these are huge breakthroughs that I believe are only coming in and because I am being nicer to myself. I am being more patient. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I feel like this is a message that the world needs. I feel like this is a message that we as women need to embrace. Beating ourselves up mentally, emotionally in the gym through diet, it doesn't work. It does not work. And I would imagine you have a lot of experience with that as well. If you feel like you're trying to force yourself, force your body, kind of beat those things into submission so that you can lose weight, so that you can get skinny, so that you can get smaller and look different. But if you're doing it in a way that doesn't feel good, that feels too hard, too overwhelming, that feels mean to yourself, it might be time to think about taking this kinder, more compassionate approach, because I am a firm believer that this is how we take care of ourselves. And as a mother, and I look at my kids, if I was always beating them up for not doing things perfectly and nitpicking at all the little things that they don't do right, is that going to work in helping my kids grow to be happy, healthy, well-rounded adults? It's not, right? So why do we do it to ourselves? We wouldn't do it to other people, so we shouldn't do it to ourselves. And I firmly believe this is the better way to go about it. And I firmly believe that not only do I deserve this from myself, but you deserve this from yourself as well. Now, I know that this approach can seem scary because I also had the mentality for so long that if I'm nice to myself, I'm going to become lazy, I'm going to become complacent, I'm going to get bigger and more overweight, and I'm going to feel worse. But that bullying mentality does the opposite. When I am mean to myself, guess what I want to do? I want to turn around and eat the junk food. I want to stuff my face with all the junk food, okay? I want nothing to do with the healthy foods. I don't want to work out. I want to sit around. I want to binge watch Netflix, and I want to eat, okay? Because I'm being so mean to myself that I just want to shut everything out. I want to numb out. And I want to eat. And these things set me up and you up for failure every single time. So my challenge to you today is to just start little by little. You don't have to make huge, crazy, overwhelming changes. Okay, this has not come easily for me. It's come through a lot of work, and it's come through kind of a lot of introspection into how I think and how I believe and how I treat and talk to myself. Okay, it's taken some time. It's taken some patience, but it's been totally worth it. This hard work to change this approach has been completely worth it. So I would challenge you today to look at the way you treat yourself. How do you talk to yourself? How are you going about your journey to better health and to weight loss? Is it working, or does it feel like you're kind of pushing up against a brick wall and you're not getting anywhere? Consider this new, different approach. Start taking small steps to taking better care of yourself in a more kind and compassionate way. However, if this approach feels a little bit scary, a little bit overwhelming, maybe you don't know where to start, you're afraid of letting yourself off the hook, I totally understand. I had those same fears for years. That's why I did that for so long and didn't change. But maybe you don't really know where to start. And maybe you feel like you could use a little help, a little support, a little guidance, maybe some accountability. I would love to help you with that. I am going to start health coaching because I feel beyond passionate about these things, and I would love to help other people figure out what works for them as well. Now, I don't have all the answers. I don't have everything figured out. I myself am a work in progress. I'm not where I want to be, but I am a heck of a lot better off than I was a year ago. And these new habits that I've been creating are starting to stick and become established, and I'm really excited about that. So if you're interested in this, you can leave a comment here on this video, or better yet, email me. If you go to my profile, my email is there. Also, I am on Instagram and Facebook at Fit Life with Alicia. Let me know if you're interested. Let's chat and see if we could be a good fit for each other. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys today. I hope that you found some value and some support in this video. If you liked this video and this message resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already to my channel, please consider doing so, because like I said, I really truly am passionate about all things health, fitness, and wellness, sharing what I'm learning so that I can help others along the way. And if that interests you, please consider liking, subscribing if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear what you have to say about this, and I will see you back here in a few days with another video soon.